Hello, friends. Hey, welcome back. Welcome to Wednesday afternoon. Let me just continue our thought and our conversation on virtues. Today, I want to talk about the cardinal virtues. And we've looked at two, and then the idea of virtue in general. And the two we've looked at so far, and in doing, I realized I hadn't really introduced the virtues well. And so, please let me correct myself by taking a little step back, broadening the discussion some. So, there are seven virtues that are widely and historically recognized as cardinal or hinged virtues. Cardinal from the Latin word cardo, meaning hinge. So that's where we got that. And they are considered hinged virtues because all the moral virtues pivot off of those like a gate. The hinged virtues are prudence, temperance, fortitude, and justice. Those are the big four. And these go all the way back to Socrates and Plato and Aristotle. They go back a long, long way. And these virtues echo natural law, human conscience. Then the late Roman era or medieval Christian moralists like Ambrose and Augustine and Thomas Aquinas, see, they borrowed the list as a summary of the earlier teachings, and then used it as a summary of the highest excellence of human behavior. And so they took that list and then they sourced from the Abrahamic traditions, particularly Judeo-Christianity, theological virtues of faith, hope, and love. So to the big four, they added three for the seven. So four of them were secular, they were historic, and then we've added the three. Now, in the philosophic theological world, the number of hinge virtues has been capped at seven because, well, when combined to their opposite number of seven deadly sins, they are conceptualized as taking in the whole range of human conduct. And so this is kind of where they come from. They're very historic. They're very transcendent. And see, this has been how humans dealt and wrestled with moral, ethical, legal questions for centuries, really for centuries. And only in the last 150 years or so have we attempted to substitute some other means of interpreting and informing behavior. And I think we can look around and see maybe not so good. Maybe the idea of substituting something for these cardinal virtues or this way of virtue thinking might not be a good plan. Quite divinely, both the historic Eastern traditions and the subcontinental Indian world echo very similar frameworks. So it's not just European, it's not just medieval, it's not just Christian. It's historic, and it echoes not just the Eastern traditions and the subcontinental Indian world, but many of the pre-Socratic thinkers, as well as the Mesoamerican cultures. Public behavior is not a new issue, right? How best to do relationships, how best to show up in the world. It's not a new issue. I just think maybe sometimes our modern society doesn't really care or is not really paying attention to the ancient wisdom available in this way of virtue. Now, the two we've talked about, we talked about humility and contentment so far. They hinge from love and faith, respectively. So let me show you. Let me kind of connect them. For instance, one way selfless love exhibits itself is through humility. Humility before God and humility before others. Contentment is an expression of faith. See, faith allows us to trust God, God's providence, no matter how much we have in our hand. So these seven hinge virtues, they are as beautiful as they are effective. See, they spawn countless number of healthy attitudes and useful interpersonal behavior. So that's kind of the virtue from the big historic and transcendent way. And that's how it fits into all these many lines of deep and thoughtful thinkers. That's how it got to us today. And that's how we kind of conceptualize it. And the two we've done so far, humility and contentment, nest nicely in those big seven. So tomorrow we'll look at some of the other ones. And then Friday we will conclude the series. So please join me again, invite somebody along, and otherwise have a great night. Bye-bye.